Hey, what is up guys, it's Barkello here, and welcome back to another video. Before we begin, I just want to say sorry about yesterday's video. I did not realize the audio was desync. I found out what the problem is, and it's been happening in a few of my videos. It's the varied frame rate. Basically, I record in 60 FPS, but sometimes the frame rate drops to 50 or whatever, causing a desync. Unfortunately, it's not possible to fix it now, so it's just gonna be online. I don't want to delete it and re-upload it and lose all of your comments and etc, you know. But now that's out of the way, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and let's jump into today's topic. And that's gonna be the premium ammo rebalance that we have in the super test at the moment. It's important, it's only super test. So, where do I even begin? I've been accumulating my thoughts for the past week probably. They announced it on 20th of December that they are going along with the reduction of the alpha damage for premium ammunition. So for some shell types they have reduced the alpha damage by 25%, and for bigger guns like the Jagdpanzer E100 they reduced the alpha damage up to 30%, bringing the alpha damage for the premium ammunition from 1050 to 700 damage. I'll give you a moment to let that sink in, you know. 700 damage for 21 and a half seconds of reload. That's just ridiculous. Now, you might say the Jagdpanzer E100 doesn't need the heat ammunition. It already has 300 penetration on the standard ammunition, and whilst I agree with you, there are plenty more tanks that receive this nerf. The IS-7, it's gonna get 360 alpha damage on the gold ammunition. The T26E4 Super Pershing, 180 alpha damage. How do you like that? So, but before I explain to you why this is such a bad idea, let's go ahead a little bit back and take a look at Wargaming's, let's just say, fuck-ups in the past. First up we have the Rubicon, of course. That was the beginning of all evil, basically. They messed up with the Rubicon. It was utter shit, where tanks were flying and tanks were drowning in the middle of a desert. That was the thing, just check YouTube. So, and Wargaming didn't stop the Rubicon from happening. We did, the player base. We cried about it, we made, well, I didn't, but players, other YouTubers made videos. There were numerous posts on forums, so we stopped the Rubicon. So, yeah, move along a few years, then we have tanks like Object 268V4, Object 430U. Completely imbalanced, broken tanks. Everyone cried about them. Wargaming introduced them into the game anyway. People started crying during the comment test, but Wargaming didn't care. They introduced it for marketing purposes to cash in on the player base, and after much more crying, after like 3-4 months, they nerfed it, and they nerfed it lightly. So, another thing, so that was 2 already. Another one is RT. Now, RT is a funny thing. They nerfed it slightly, they nerfed the alpha damage, but they added the broken mechanic, the stun mechanic. You get stunned for 30 seconds every 20 seconds, which absolutely pissed off all the players. Everyone cried about it, but what did Wargaming do? That's right, nothing. They proceeded with it anyway, and now, honestly, I would prefer the previous state of RT. It was cancer, but still it was better than getting stunned the whole game. Now, there was an easier solution. What I want to say is, if they just reduced the alpha damage of the RT and removed the AP shells, heat shells, it would have solved the problem, in my opinion. But no, they had to add the stun mechanic to please the RT players. Okay, moving on now. What I want to say is, they like to overdo things. Wargaming. They cannot slightly buff a tank, they cannot slightly nerf a tank, they have to overdo it. One good example is the Kranwagen. It used to be excellent tank, it used to be amazing. Nowhere near the levels of 268V4 Object 430U brokenness, but it used to be really good in the common test. The players asked Wargaming to rebalance it, it's too powerful. What did Wargaming do? They nerfed it to shit. It's terrible and very few players play that tank. What they're gonna do now is they're gonna buff it. Instead of slightly nerfing it back then, 2 years back or whatever, they over nerfed it. So Wargaming is in the business of over nerfing and over buffing stuff. Good example is a Type 5 heavy mouse. They over buffed it. After players started crying, they nerfed it. Instead of tweaking little things, they, let's just say, go the extra mile, which is not always beneficial. So the premium ammunition, what I want to say is 25% nerf, 30% nerf to the alpha damage is excessive. I understand it's super test, but they are moving closer to the common test and to the live servers as well. And if enough players do not cry about it, they're gonna proceed with it. I would understand if they nerf the alpha damage by 10-15%, it would be understandable, but there are better solutions, yet still. For example, it was suggested to Wargaming several times, limit the premium ammunition, this will solve all your problems. Limit it to 10%, 20%. Now I understand there are like tanks like IS-7 which carry only 30 ammunition, and if you nerf it to 10% they will carry only 3 ammunition, whilst tanks like Mao's E100 they carry a shit ton of ammunition and 10% would be a significant amount. So I mean, it's easy, just nerf it to like 10 shells or whatever. And another thing, by nerfing the alpha damage by 30%, what they're going to do is they're going to over buff yet again the Type 5 heavy, the mouse. They're gonna be absolutely broken. The Type 5 heavy will not receive a nerf, even though they're nerfing the gold ammunition, they're turning it into Hesh round with 193 penetration and 750 alpha. So if you don't pen a tank, you're gonna hit it for like what, 200, 300? What is this gonna do? All the Type 5 players remove all the Hesh shells from their tank, drive with standard HE ammunition which is not receiving any kind of nerf, which is the real problem of this game. It's not the gold ammunition, it's the high explosive on the Type 5 heavy they should be looking at. The Type 5 heavy is gonna load the standard ammunition and it's gonna hit you in your medium attack for 600 damage, and in your heavy attack it's gonna hit you for 400-450 damage, whilst with your gold ammunition in the IS-7 you're gonna be penning him for 360 alpha damage if you're lucky, and if you're not lucky you're gonna be penning him for 300 alpha damage. Where's the logic in that? This brings us to the next point. In a IS-7, well, Wargaming's aim is to readjust the ammo distribution. They want the gold ammunition to deal less damage. I mean overall, for example, currently in their stats, which we don't have access to, it's probably showing like 2 out of 10 shells are gold ammunition, which is problematic, as it used to be like, as opposed to like 1 in 10 5-6 years ago, let's just say. So what Wargaming wants to fix it, they want to bring it back to 1 in 10, let's just say. That's their aim in their forum post, that they want to redistribute the amount of damage caused by gold ammunition and by standard ammunition, so just balance it a little bit. But if they nerf the alpha damage, the people still have to carry a lot of gold ammunition, because you cannot play against a mouse, against a Type 5 heavy with your standard ammunition. If Type 5 heavy angles its tank at 45 degrees, let's just say, figuratively speaking, or mouse stands at you at 45 degrees, there is no chance you're gonna be able to pen him with your standard ammunition. So players will still load gold, players will load even more gold if they were not playing with full gold before, because they need more damage out of the gold ammunition. So it doesn't solve the problem, it just rebalances a little bit. It's gonna be plus here, but it's gonna be a huge minus there, if you know what I mean. And what I want to talk about is another problem. What's causing the overuse of gold ammunition? The main cause There are two as far as I know. First one is obviously the influx of credits. There are a lot of bonuses, there are a lot of missions, there are a lot of all the various events that give you a shit ton of credits. Second problem is 1-tier battles. This all started with the 1-tier battles, in my opinion. At least it went over the roof when 1-tier battles happened. Imagine yourself in a tier 10 battle, only 1 tier. There are 3 Mauses or 3 Type 5 heavies in the enemy team. What are you gonna do against them? Bounce AP shells? No. You carry gold ammunition, and because there is a chance of meeting 3 Type 5 heavies in the enemy team, you load full gold. I mean, at least some players do. And that's the problem with the gold ammunition. So, how would I fix the gold ammunition? Well, in my opinion, it needs to have a drawback. For firing gold ammunition, you need to have a serious drawback, like loss of shell velocity, because currently in the E50, for example, you have standard ammunition that don't fly so fast, that have low penetration, and you have the gold ammunition, the APCR, that fly fast and they penetrate better, so there is absolutely zero point of playing with standard ammunition. That's why people play the E50, the M46 pattern, the Object 430, tanks like Super Conqueror, all of the tanks that get APCR as secondary ammunition with full gold. At least like 50% of the players play those tanks with full gold, because there is absolutely no reason to carry the standard ammunition. Now, there are some tanks that carry heat, for example the T54, the T55A. They have heat as premium ammunition, and on those tanks you can't carry full heat, because sometimes you need to shoot to distance and you need better velocity. Sometimes you want to track a tank, so you need the AP. You get the point. The premium ammunition has a drawback. Of course, the shell velocity alone is not gonna fix that, but I'm just giving you the general idea of where this needs to be moving, not lowering the alpha damage by 25-30%, because that just buffs the heavy tanks and it says fuck you to the medium tanks. And one more thing, there are some problematic tanks at the moment in the game, and you know what they are, I know what they are. The main one is 430U. Then we have the Type 5 heavy I already mentioned. Then Maus is not problematic, but it's gonna become problematic. Then there's the tanks like WZ5A, the Object 277. They are not too problematic, but still they're gonna receive an immense amount of buff, because hull down, you cannot pen them to the upper plate, you cannot pen them to the turret without the gold ammunition. So they basically receive 25% buff. They will survive for 25% longer, whilst tanks like the M46 pattern, all the medium tanks basically, except the 430U, will receive a 25% nerf. Where's the logic in that? Where's the balance? The rebalance of the premium ammo should fix the game, should balance, should level the game field, let's just say, should level the play field. But what it's gonna do is it's gonna create huge differences between armored tanks and between non-armored tanks. So here are my thoughts, guys. It's a bit of a ranty, I do apologize about that, but it needs to be said, in my opinion, the changes in the super test are completely shit, even though they are not finalized, they are not coming to the live server yet, but they are shit in my opinion, and no one gave too much thought about it. They just put a 25% on a piece of paper and gave it to the developers. Yeah, do this. And that's it. That's it from me, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the changes, of your versions of better changes, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.